Hello everyone and welcome back to another DrAce video. Today I am going to show you how to get the best possible sector times in the Red Bull Ring of Austria here in the MotoGP Academy game mode. We're using Brad Binder and we're here in Austria. So here we go then from the first sector. Of course all starts from the back end of the circuit where we're going to have to prepare ourselves to change your electronics. And of course for you guys watching at home, check on the right hand side of your screen for my PS5 DualSense controller. If you've got any discrepancies or want to know what each button does, check out in the description below for all the controls and configuration right there. So first things first, brake right before you get to the rumble strip going into turn 1 and turn in nice and tight to the apex of the Niki Lauda curve. Actually went a little bit deep there, so I could probably go a bit harder on the brakes the next time around. Now as you come up to 2A and 2B, brake at that shadow there. It's a great spot and it always is a perfect spot to brake. Use the ride height device coming out of the corner, get close to the curb and get across the line. So let's see this one more time from Sector 1. Of course it's important to end Sector 4 the right way so you have that momentum to charge up into Sector 1. So quickly organise your electronics, move into the right hand side, out the Red Bull mobile corner, straighten the bike up, use the ride height device and charge across the line. Keep an eye out on the left hand side, there it is, start braking into the first corner, keep turning in nice and tight to the apex to turn 1 and then onto the power. Now you can use the ride height device there, but I try not to as we now go underneath the Shingar sign, start braking in and keep it in nice and tight to the apex of 2. Quick change direction into the left-hander for 3 or 2B, ride height device across the line to conclude the sector. Now for Sector 2, of course we are going to take over midway through the exit of this corner here, so prepare yourselves, hit the ride height device, now move over to the left-hand side. There, just as you see that white line, the very first white line on the left-hand side of your screen, use that as a reference to brake into that very difficult Ramus corner. It's not easy to get right that and it might take you a good couple of goes, but just try it out and see how you get on. Brake well before the 200 meter marker here on the left hand side so you can turn into the Schlossgold with enough time and momentum to continue to move the RC16 around the corner. So once again, let the autopilot do its business. It's going to turn in now for 2B, hit the ride height device and of course keep an eye on the left hand side of your screen. There is the white line, start braking at it. And that way you can casually and calmly bring the bike into the right hand side. You've got to be confident though, you've got to turn in that corner with confidence and temerity to ensure you get that one right. Look over to your left hand side, there's a 200 meter marker, start braking just before the rumble strip and bring the bike in to the right hand side. You can run it a bit deep there, but don't worry too much, go for the tighter apex and through the sector time. Now for Sector 3, this is a difficult one, it seems to be quite sharp in the terms of time, so you've got to be absolutely perfect to get this one right. So lean over to the right hand side, get to the craft beer sign, straighten the bike up and start braking in. I went a little bit too heavy on the brake there, so that way the rear tyre skipped off the floor. Try and avoid doing that if you can. Move over to the left hand side and brake on an angle with a lot of front brake, trail braking into the Worth curve, hit over onto the curb on the right hand side and get onto the power as quickly as possible to get close to the gold sector time. So as I say, this is a difficult one, this one, so just take your time with it. I think with more time I can get a gold, but for the purpose of this video here today, I've got to crack on and get things done. So underneath the craft sign, then quickly turning and braking on the left hand side of the tyre for the Rorsch corner. Keep it in tight, be patient with the power, upshift into third and start braking in. Again, trail braking into the left hand side, really allowing the front end of the bike to make that apex. Now into the right hand side, get onto the power nice and early and across the line to just miss out on the gold by 0.002 of a second. So now that Sector 3 is complete, we now move on to Sector 4. Now this is not too bad, but I do recommend to pay attention to a few points. There is the MotoGP sign, straight after that, there is the 200 meter, there is the 150 meter, start braking in between that. You've got to go for a tight apex into Rindt, otherwise you run the risk of running it too deep and possibly exceeding track limits. So be very careful there, and also be careful of when you apply the ride height device out of the final corner. You do it too early and the bike will start to slide and start to move. If you do it right on time, the bike will be nice and flat, ready for you to accelerate. So keep an eye on the left hand side of your screen, there's the 200 meters, start braking just before the 150, went a little bit too aggressive there, but tight to the apex with Rindt. Straighten the bike up, hit the curve here, then turn in immediately into the tight apex. Really showing you how much apex you can abuse in that final corner with a lot of confidence. And across the line, that is complete. So now it's time to do the complete lap. We're going to do 2 laps of the Red Bull Ring of Austria, and we'll see how we get on. The time to beat is a 1:29.028, which should probably be quite an easy objective to complete. So here we go then. Ride height device supplied. Straight across the line, left hand side of your screen, brake just before the 200-meter marker. Nice and calm, collected in, using a lot of rear brake as well, just to get the KTM stopped. Now it's stopped, we can get back onto the power. Underneath the Shingar sign, start braking right there where the shadow is. Bring the bike in tight once again for turn 2B and onto the ride height device. Left hand side of your screen, white line there, 150-meter marker, start braking in. You don't want to hit the brakes 100% there, just go for 80 to 90% on the brakes, and that's enough to get you stopped going uphill. Of course, difficult situation braking up a hill, because of course any too aggressive on the brakes, very much like downhill braking. Too aggressive on the brake and you're going to end up endoing and doing stoppies, just so be very, very careful if you do try and get the brakes too hard going into the Ravers corner. Now into left hand side, as I mentioned earlier, you're going to be using a lot of trail brake for these next 2 corners. Out of the Rorsch corner, onto the power, hit the curb and turn in immediately. Downshifting to 2nd gear, using a lot of front brake, using it all to reduce that apex, to reduce that understeer, to get close to the corner. Now onto the brakes just after the 200 meter, just before the 150 meter sign. We can turn into Rint and then get back onto the power once again. Hit the brakes early and turn in. Actually went a little bit too early on the brakes there, so we really abused the curb, but as I showed you on that previous sector, it's easy enough to survive on that particular curb. So let's see this just once more, and let's ensure we get the gold again. We actually got the gold there by 1.3 seconds, so pretty easy stuff around the Red Bull Ring of Austria. Now into the Red Bull mobile corner, be patient with the ride height device. Now we can use it, beautiful. Look how much better that was getting onto the power. Brake just before the 200 meter sign and then turn in nice and early to hit the apex on the right hand side. Straighten the motorcycle up and get onto the power. As I mentioned earlier, you can use the ride height device if you want to there. I have used it in the past, but for the purpose of this video I didn't actually bother using the RHD for that particular corner. Coming out to this left-hander, though, it's guaranteed ride height device. There is the left-hand side of your screen. Start braking, quite firm. Little bit wide, actually, this time around. I went a little bit later than the white line, but it's okay. The only problem is we've compromised our exit speed, so now we're struggling to get the bike to stop wheeling. That's why you want to go for that tight apex and gradually bring on the speed rather than doing a stop and go in that particular corner, because then it's difficult to stop the front wheel from lifting up. Now in the right hand side for turn 6, there's the craft beer sign. Start turning over to the left. A little bit aggressive on the brakes again. I also downshifted at the wrong time there, but if you time it roughly around that, you should be fine. Now into the left hand side once more for the Worth curve. Bit deep this time, but we'll go tighter to the apex of the left hander, quickly change direction into the right and get back onto the power. As I mentioned many times already, brake just after the 200 meter marker, turn in with anger into the right hand side for Rint. Touch the curve here and start braking in nice and casually, calm and collected, into the final corner to settle the bike and use the ride height device to achieve another gold lap time here in Austria. So guys, that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching the video. I sincerely hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know in the comments section down below. And if you have any questions, also ask me down there. But for now, thanks for watching, like and subscribe. See you in tomorrow's video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.